All right, let's go to Devin in Post Falls. What's up, Devin?
How's it going?
Partying, man. What are you up to?
Just standing outside. Excited for this phone call.
Is it cold?
Yes.
Dude, go inside, man. I'm not worth pneumonia.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's nice to get the fresh air. I was actually in Nashville, Tennessee this last week, and the weather there was much nicer.
Oh, man. So what's up, brother? How can I help?
So I've made, over the last, 10 months, 12 months, I've made a lot of changes in my life. I switched jobs, changed the people who I hang around with, quit drinking. And then I think the biggest thing is I'm at about 115 pounds now.
What? You've lost 115 pounds in 10 months?
Yeah.
Homie, dude, that's incredible, man. Way to go. What sparked this change? Please say my show. Please say my show.
Actually, that did have a lot to do with it.
It didn't. I'm fine. It didn't. My wife likes me.
No, the book, your book, The Own Your Past, Change Your Future. When I decided that I needed to do something different, because I'm 32 now, and I was kind of at a stalemate. I can't just do the same thing my whole life. And my brother recommended it. It's like, okay, didn't really think much of it and listened to it, picked up a little bit and a little bit more. So I think that helped me realize that there was things inside of me that I needed to work on, not just, oh, you need to lose weight. Like, there's a reason why I was like that.
It's awesome, man. Dude, I'm so proud of you, dude. It's amazing. It's incredible.
Thank you.
It's incredible, dude.
I feel much better and healthier now.
I bet you can stand outside and it's 0 degrees and talk on the phone. That's amazing, man. I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm so proud of you. It's awesome.
Thank you.
And let's don't blow by this. Like, losing weight's really hard. It's one of the biggest challenges. Stopping drinking is really hard. I actually think underneath what you've done, the hardest thing you've done is you've changed your social circles. That's real hard, man. Making friends when you're 30 is the worst. It's the worst. Right? Good for you. That's hard, dude. You've done a lot of hard stuff, man. I'm so proud of you, dude. That's amazing.
Thank you. And now I feel like I'm at this point where I want to change some more things. I guess I'm looking at my future more than I ever used to, because it just, like, I see things for myself. Like, I need to be a better person and whatever. And now, like, with the weight loss, it was easy to set goals and meet these markers. And now I feel like I'm overthinking everything. I'll look at a different career and I'm like, oh, I can maybe do that. But there's these downsides. And sorry, I'm rambling a little.
No, you're not rambling at all.
It's harder for me to feel like I'm confidently making those decisions versus, is this just going to be another decision I make that doesn't ultimately help me to get to where I want to be?
Okay, so, man, what you are asking is such an important question that I think, quite frankly, our culture misses dramatically. Okay, I'm so grateful that you called, A, so we could celebrate your successes. It's amazing. But 2, you have entered into this really important world where we don't have a psychology for this in our culture. And here's what it is. I think where you want to go, your quote unquote goals, those are important, but they're often the wrong question. Here's what I mean by that. The number of times I go work with business leaders all across the country, and we get behind closed doors and we have some hard conversations about their numbers and their books and their personnel, all that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to make up numbers here, but let's say it's real easy to have a strategic planning opportunity. Sit down, look at your numbers, dream big, come up with the BHAG, they call it, the big, hairy, audacious goal, and to say, we're going to be a $500 million company. That's our goal. That's what we're going to go do. We're crushing it. We're killing it. That's our goal. What you've accidentally done is you have set a metric that does not take into account COVID or inflation or, hey, we don't have any glass because of supply chain issues. And so instead of doing the hard work, which is saying, here's who we're going to be on the way to wherever it is we're going, that's way harder to do and to see through. Because then what happens is you have employees that the world shifts underneath you, but you still got that $500 million benchmark out there. So they start cutting corners. They start making a little bit of a worse loan than they would otherwise, and they don't tell anybody about it, or they somehow get it through committee. I'll say yes to this loan if you'll say yes to my loan, and let's go ahead and bundle and sell these loans. And now you've got people doing whatever it takes to hit that quote unquote goal. And you've had a goal. My guess is I'm going to lose 100 pounds or whatever. If you're not careful, you start starving yourself, or you start taking a bunch of not good medicine from the doctor. There's some really extraordinary medicine out there now for weight loss, but you start just taking a bunch of amphetamines, and you see what I'm saying? Like, you'll cut corners to get there, and you start cheating in a weigh-in days, and all of a sudden you get your number, but you don't like who you are when you get there, or you get your number and everything around you is an ash. You see what I'm saying? So you have what you've proven to yourself is that in 1 year, Devin can do freaking anything. Anything. Okay? You've tackled the three the hardest things I know of: alcohol, weight loss, and friend circles. You did it all. So in terms of like, who do I want on my team? Who do I want to go into battle with? You're first, right? Because if you say, I'll get to the other side of that line, I 100% know you're going to get there. Okay? So you're always going to have opportunities for jobs, because there's not a job on earth that doesn't want a guy like you on that team. What you've got to stop doing, but you can't seek that approval. What you have to do is to ask yourself the hard question is, who do I want to be to wherever it is I'm going? And this goes back to identity. I'm a guy who takes care of his body. And at some point, my body's going to stop losing weight. I'm going to start lifting. I'm going to try this out. I might start running some. Regardless of what those little mini goals are, I'm going to run a half marathon one day, or I'm going to walk whatever, or I want to bench press this much weight. All those goals are fine, but they're in service to, I'm a guy who's a good steward of his body. And occasionally, like that's one of my identities. Like, I'm a guy who takes care of his body so that I can be a good dad, so that I can be a good employee, so that I can work really hard and show up. And the last couple of months, I think I've talked about on the show, I was finishing up a book, and I had to check myself into a hotel a few times and just write 24/7 and finish this thing. In that season, was not a good steward of my body. My body worked really hard. I redlined it. And so now I'm putting money back in the bank, right? I'm trying to take care of myself. I'm in a season. So it goes in seasons. It's all good, but it's all in service to this identity. So let me ask you, you have proven to yourself, I could do anything. Who do you want to be now? What kind of life do you want to have? Do you want to have a funny life, an adventurous life, a life that you are just going to spend the next 5 years grinding it out, working really hard, making a bunch of money? Like, what do you want? What do you want to feel like?
I just, that's a good question. I like to help people. I kind of looked towards like first responder type thing, because I feel like there was times in my life where I maybe could have used some help, or maybe there was people that were there to help and I didn't reach out, but I like to do things like that. I don't know.
So let me tell you this. So one of my identities that I've taken on, and I got this from a mentor, is I want people to be a little more peaceful after they get done interacting with me than before. And what that frees me up is, if I choose to go be a first responder and just quit this job, that still applies. If I go back to working at Burger King where I worked when I was in high school, my hope is I can inject a little bit of humanity into that exchange when they're buying their Whopper with cheese or whatever. And I hope that person's a little more peaceful, a little more joyful, a little more smiley after they interact with me than before. And so you like to help people. I want you to go one step deeper and begin to ask yourself, how do I want people to experience me? And I want you to keep this, just tattoo this on your heart from this point forward, because you've proven all you need to prove. I want you to tattoo this on your soul. It's about identity, not destination, because you're going to end up wherever you end up. You can't do anything about the world economy imploding or like Chat GPT becoming the next internet, and we all make even more money than we've made the last 25 years, right? You can't, or gas prices going up to $500 a gallon. You can't do anything about those things. Zero. And so the important energy I want you to spend is, who do I want to be wherever it is I'm going? I want to be a guy, this is Devin, this is me telling you, I want to be a guy that has a reputation for working really hard and always getting the job done no matter what. I want that. Okay. So that means I got to take care of my body. That means I got to get enough sleep. That means I got to have friends and community in my corner. That also means, and I struggle with this, I got to be on time. I have to always meet my deadlines, right? So all that to say is that's one of my, so I want you to get 4 or 5 or 6 identities. Here's who I'm going to be. Here's who I want to be in this next phase. And the beauty of what you have is most people start those identities at the beginning of this 10-month journey. You did it without it. You just said, I'm going all in. So now you can create these, you can lay out these identities and begin to backfill the action steps you need to take with no reservation. You've got no governor because you can do it freaking anything, Devin.
That does make sense. Okay.
I was just hoping for like, you should go work in banking, right?
That has been a consideration. I did some CPA classes and stuff when I was in high school, got some college credits. I tend to do well in that kind of stuff.
Devin, I'm telling you right now, I've hired more people than I can count. I can't tell you how many people I've hired over my career. I can't tell you how many people I've consulted, how many businesses, all from plumbers to colleges to all across, everybody in between. You will never long for a job because they don't make people like you. There's very few of you out there. And I'm convinced that you could get put as a technical writer and you hate writing and you don't like grammar and you would do well. You'd figure it out. It might take a little bit of your soul. I'm really, really good at big budgets, at dealing with budgets. And it takes a little bit of my soul every time I do it, right? Every time I hit submit, part of me dies a little bit, but I can do it real well. You can do whatever you want to. I'm going to send you, my buddy Ken Coleman has a Get Clear assessment that kind of narrows it down. It helps you start to link this identity with what are some things that I would be really good at. I'm going to send it to you for free, and I want you to utilize that. I'm also going to send you his book, From Paycheck to Purpose. And that is okay, I got all these skills. Where can I go? And purpose is really, I love how my friend Jade Simmons says it. Purpose is how other people experience me. Purpose is what I inspire in other people. And this is going to keep you from going like, I just need another job. I need another career too. What were you put on this earth to do, man? And I actually don't think that's one thing. I think that's a way of being. I think that's an identity, but that's just me. What was I put here to do? And how am I going to go make that happen? Who am I going to be on this journey? And dude, it can be paralyzing because now the whole field is open. You can kind of run where you want to run. And you've proven to everybody you're real, real fast. Question you got to ask yourself is, who am I going to be wherever it is I'm going? And dude, I cannot wait to see where you end up. The world needs more people like you, my brother. And it's an honor to have gotten to spend some time with you.